Last weekend, I went to Hyper Japan in Manchester, a celebration of Japanese culture, manga, fashion, and music, and for the first time ever, it was coming to Manchester. And of course, as a cosplayer and sworn Japanese geek, I had to go and see it with my own eyes. I only have one day to make the most of this event, so here is my list of things to do. I need to finish my cosplay, go to a photoshoot, taste delicious Japanese food, visit the expositions and workshops, watch the live performances, go to a hologram concert, and of course, spend money I don't have at the artist alley. Oh, and don't forget the cosplay competition. I am going to tell you all about the event, but first things first, we need to choose an appropriate cosplay. Fortunately, I have several boxes almost exclusively filled with Japanese outfits. Not like I am short of choice here anyway. As I was going to be traveling by train, I decided to wear something comfortable that I could quickly change into when I got to the event. And I chose this Sakura Saber cosplay, which is almost 10 years old. I can definitely see how much I have improved my sewing technique, but I am still quite impressed with what I managed to do back then. Well done, Pastalis! Of course, this cosplay is quite old, so I decided to level it up. Quite literally, because I am going to be wearing a new version. After a good iron, changing and adding a few pieces, the biggest upgrade was styling a new wig, because my original one wasn't the right color, and this is something that always annoyed me in the past. With the years, I have learned to realize that a wig can make or break the cosplay. And of course, you do need to style your wigs. I did not spend a long time styling this one, but I did enough to make it look closer to the character and make it recognizable. And I wanted it to look good because I am going to a photoshoot during the event. This version of the character also has a ponytail, and contrary to belief, you can actually make ponytails to a normal wig. You just need to do it in stages and keep it a bit messy to hide the net underneath. A few bobby pins helped with the most stubborn parts, and my wig was ready. The last detail for my cosplay was the katana, and I didn't have time to 3D print a new one, so I decided to spray paint one of my training bokens. Unfortunately, as it didn't stop raining all day, the paint got messed up, and anyway, looking close at the event guidelines, hard plastic swords are forbidden anyway. I don't have time for a plan B, so let's just go to the convention. I guess one of the first things to do at the event is going to be finding a new katana.
Sharp right onto Windmill Street.
Getting to the con was fairly easy, and there were no queues to enter, which was great. And as soon as you entered, you heard the music from the taiko drums that were playing at the back. I also really liked that there was a giant map of the event and one showing the stage performances time, which was genius and made everything so much easier to find. We will have time for the stage later, but first we are on a quest to find a suitable weapon for my saber cosplay. These ones were part of the exposition, so at first I thought I wouldn't be able to find anything. But suddenly I found these vendors selling lots of katanas, and they had a very good discount one that was going to be perfect. I am going back to the event in a moment, but first I have a mini photoshoot planned, and it seems I am not the only one who is taking advantage of the location. Because if you are wearing a cosplay, of course, you want to take photos. And this is the first time I ever see the sun out in Manchester, so why not take advantage of the area? Today I am shooting with the lovely Chloe from Kota Creative, and she was so amazing. It was the first time we met and I really enjoyed the photo shoot. If you go to a convention and you are wearing a cosplay, this is a great time to arrange a photo shoot. These are often cheaper or even free, so make sure to check with your photographer and see if you can arrange something. On our way back to the event, we noticed there were several cars custom painted with images of some classic anime. And surprisingly, my character was there too, because I am Saber, just a different skin, but that's me. That's my car. But that wasn't the only expo. As soon as you entered, you could see a giant Gundam and several displays with assembled kits as well. There was even an area where you could buy and assemble your own Gundam, which I thought was great. And those weren't the only mechas at the event. To celebrate the 30th anniversary of Evangelion, we were also able to see some original sketches of Mahiro Maeda, one of the directors and concept artists behind Neon Genesis Evangelion. No, not the bad ending, the good ending, the one in the films, that one. Actually, there are so many endings in that anime that I don't even know what's the right one anymore. But the expo was really cool. As it was getting close to lunchtime, we decided to go looking for food, and there was indeed a lot of choice. We settled for some Japanese street food, and even though the queues were scary, we managed to eat reasonably early. It was also my first time trying the kabocha croquettes, and I loved them so much. They were amazing. We finished just in time for the cosplay masquerade, which for me was of course the main event. I apologize in advance because I don't have the best footage nor I know the names of the contestants, but I tried my best to record a little clip of all of them.
Kindreds, people, and laws, Fossilor de Fontaine!
So good. See, Bobby? And that's how it's done.
You think I'm a monster? Sounds good to me. 青白いモニター越しの光を通し、オタクの孤独を癒して回る。
First, I need to invite all my friends, so I've sent out my invitations. All of you are invited too.
神様を見てるくどい夜道は手を
Guys on stage, don't be afraid to do some poses for us. So our first award is our Rising Star Award, and this goes to Leafy as Akaza and Hakuji from Demon Slayer. Congratulations.
For our one to watch, can I get a Neil cosplay Lucy back on the stage, please?
For our judges' honor, we would like to invite Amy Enjoyer back to the stage with her OMG Kawaii Angel winter version.
In third place,
We have Zixazel as Edda from Final Fantasy XIV.
For our second place, can I get back on the stage? Lucille from Vocaloid, please.
And last but certainly not least, please can we welcome back to the stage Kit as Rumi from K-Pop Demon Hunters.
It was a short but sweet competition, and later I was also able to check the cosplay area next to the stage. Here the judges had the space to display some of their cosplays, and you were able to talk with them as well, which was very nice. Being able to see the work of fellow cosplayers is always great at an event. Of course, other than cosplay, there were many other things to see on the stage, and I made a little compilation of some of the performances I was able to watch throughout the day. But the cherry on top was of course Aya Hirano, which is the seiyuu who voices Suzumiya Haruhi and also Amane Misa in Death Note. And she is a singer too. Just imagine she is singing here. I got a copyright infringement restriction, so I can't really show you. But the concert was really cool. Honestly, the vibes during the event were great, and if I had wanted to stay looking at the stage for the whole day, I could have done it. Of course, there were many other things to do at the event, including visiting the vendors. But I will say my favorite part was, of course, the artist alley. You could find absolutely everything at this place, from traditional art, furry accessories, kimonos, Lolita dresses, pottery, and fan arts. Lots and lots and fan arts. And not only the newest stuff, like some old stuff as well. I was able to find fandoms that I hadn't seen in artist alleys for years. You were really spoiled for choice. I ended up spending quite a bit of money, but for me, it will always be worth it to support a small artist. I am back from the con and I have finally had some time to sit down and rest after a very intense day. And I thought it would be a good idea just to write it up and just tell you my thoughts about the con, what I liked, what I didn't like, and the feels that I got, because I have a huge haul of things that I did buy at the convention. I am actually going to summarize this because I was talking about the amazing art for an hour, so I'm just gonna do a quick shout out to JetBites, because I know she follows this channel, and it was like a big surprise when she told me that she was actually using my advice for cosplay, and that was so nice. Thank you. I absolutely love your art. Also to Ellie's Creations, because I was getting stickers for all my friends and my character wasn't there, and she actually gave me the one on her display on purpose because she had run out of stickers. Her art was also absolutely fantastic. I got a Nahida print, but I really want to get the Raiden Shogun next time. Finally, I also got a bunch of prints by Miha. It was the first time I met this artist, but I was literally blown away by how well these prints are made. He uses traditional art, so it's all painted on paper, and the quality of the pictures is so good. He happened to have a lot of characters that I really loved, including a saber print, which I absolutely had to have because it was the character I was wearing in this convention, and I like bringing some art from the characters I cosplay just as a memento of something I have made in that event. First things first, to be completely transparent, I just want to say that I did get a creator pass to get into the convention, but it doesn't make any difference because when I got the badge, I had already purchased my ticket. I was gonna go anyway, so it doesn't change anything. Yes, I entered for free, technically, but I didn't because I actually paid for the ticket anyway. And everything I have to say, it's my own opinion about the event. First things first, everyone was super nice and super lovely. Getting the creator pass was great. I got an email. I was actually late to apply for it, and I thought I wasn't through, so that's why I bought the ticket. But the reality is that when I sent the creator pass request, I did get a word back within a week, which was great, and they were super nice, making sure I had everything I needed, that I had my pass. Everything was super chill and super easy. It's the easiest pass I've ever got. And what I mean is that when I got to the event, it was very easy. They immediately sent me to the place for the ticket. They printed my ticket and my pass, and it was super easy to get through. And even if I didn't have a ticket, it was actually great because the event was full, but there were no queues. It was super easy to get through security. You could come back with your wristband, and getting through the event was amazing. One thing that I have mentioned and I really loved, and I think all conventions should do this, they had, as you entered, a giant map of the event, so you knew exactly where everything was, how the artist alley was on the sides, how the vendors were in the middle. There was plenty of space for the food, so they could just have queues around them, but without being in front of the vendors nor the artist alley. And everything was done in a way that made sense and made it very enjoyable to go through all the alleys of the event, and which is great because I've been to events in which you can't get through the alleys, or maybe the things are too crowded or next to each other. And I think the balance was absolutely crazy. And the amount of artists, honestly, I've never seen so many artists and so many talented artists in one convention. It was packed. I was so happy. And I know comparisons are terrible, but I'm so used to the convention in my city to be so small in the sense of there's only a dozen of people in the artist alley, and they are dispersed, and you don't really know how to look at them. This was great because it was good art. It was consistent. Everyone there was so talented and it was so diverse. You could find absolutely anything, totally worth it. But of course, I don't go to an event to go shopping. I go to the event to see what they have to offer, and the stage was absolutely great because not only you were able to see the performances at stage all day, you could hear it all over through the place, through the convention center. So it was so clever that we would have music all through the event, live music, Japanese live music, all throughout the event. So wherever you were, you wouldn't be bored. You were immersed and you were listening to this music all the time while you were just shopping or watching the exhibitions or doing something else, which worked absolutely great. General organization was great, and in particular, I think the cosplay was managed so well. I speak from experience because I actually used to be a cosplay organizer. I used to help run a convention, so I know what it is to have to run the cosplay competition, how you have to manage people, how you have to do stuff. And I was very happy to see that there were passionate people that knew about cosplay and cosplay needs being in charge of the cosplay competition. I absolutely love that in a convention, and it makes me wanna enter the competitions because it shows, and you know you are in good hands if you have a bunch of cosplayers helping out. There were some people that needed help to get into stage, and the organizers were there helping them and just making sure that everything was alright. And not only that, there was an area by the stage where the cosplayers were able to see the stage, which not everybody thinks about it. I've been to conventions and I've been backstage and I literally just not seen the cosplay competition, which is the one thing I like seeing, because when you're a contestant, sometimes they forget about you and it's like, oh yeah, you get to be at the backstage, you don't get to see the convention, and just good luck, just crowded against the wall. No, here they were by the stage. I'm pretty sure they could see the stage from where they were. They had a seating area for themselves, and I think it was absolutely great because they were looked after, and that is something that you really want, especially when you have new people who don't know much about the cosplay competition. This is the kind of experience that you want a cosplayer to have when they go to a cosplay competition. I actually went to the table and told them that I had really liked how they had done it. I wanted to let them know, and you know, if you are a cosplayer or if you are part of the public and you like something, just make sure you tell these people that are working so hard to get this convention done, because they will appreciate it and they will know that they are in the right path. I do, however, have a tiny complaint about the cosplay competition, and it's about the presenter. She was nice, super nice. I have nothing against her, and I think she did a very good job. However, she did struggle with all the names of all the cosplayers and all the names of all the characters, to the point of, I think she said all the names wrong, like, And as someone that really likes my anime and my cosplay and my characters, and just imagine you are one of the cosplayers that's out there and you're waiting for your name to be said and the name of your character, and someone says it wrong, it really throws you off. I know it's super hard to be on stage, and it is super hard to be the presenter and to be on stage, but maybe next time, if you are not sure of how to pronounce these names, just make sure to go to the cosplayer and ask them, hey, is this your character? How do you pronounce it? Just write it next to it. There were only like a dozen people. It just takes 5 minutes and it's gonna make everybody happy. Because honestly, I was watching the competition and thinking like, oh, Suzumiya Haruki, no, Asuka Langley, no, it's Falsalos. So yeah, I know it's very difficult. They are Japanese names and we cosplayers choose the weirdest characters ever, but being able to say the right name, it's going to help the cosplayer, it's gonna make the cosplayer feel at ease, because if you are nervous and you don't hear your name or the name of your character, it's gonna make you even more nervous, so it's gonna help them as much as the public to know what they are cosplaying as. Also, the jokes were terrible, but you know, I'll forgive that. And also, can we please stop asking cosplayers to do weird poses or to dance on stage or to just, I don't know, dance the Macarena on stage? She didn't ask anyone to dance the Macarena, but she did ask them to do silly poses, which I guess it can be fun, but I am talking from the point of view of being a shy person. If someone asks me to do a silly pose when I am cosplaying I don't know, a warrior, I'm not gonna do it. And I actually really love that when she said, oh, let's do silly poses. There was someone dressed as Misa Misa, which is like a very goth character, and she was like, I am Misa Misa. I was only at the convention for one day, but I did a lot of things. I still was short and I wish I had been able to do more. For example, there was a Voca Fest, which was kind of like a Vocaloid and a VTuber kind of concert with which was made by fans, and we went upstairs. This was in a different room, but we were only able to see a little bit because we didn't realize it was. I knew it was somewhere else, but we didn't have much time to see it. And when we arrived, it was one of the concerts was already finishing, and it was really cool because they had kind of like a screen, and the projectors went into the screen and made this kind of like animated thing, which was cool, but it was not a real hologram. I think the Hatsune Miku concerts have had this lately, in which instead of having a full hologram as they used to have, now they do it through a screen, so it just makes it look like a normal screen. And I was only able to realize it was a hologram when they actually stopped it and I saw the screen. Otherwise, it would have looked like a normal, projection, which is good. Like it was actually great. I was there only for 10 minutes, so I didn't really see much, but what I saw was quite nice, and it was kind of like a little area with your own concert going all day, which I thought it was a great idea. There was also the sake experience that we didn't do because we were driving back. If we took the train, we had to take the car to get back home later, so we couldn't do the sake experience, but it looked like a very nice thing to do. And there was also the workshops that I wasn't able to get tickets for because obviously they were limited, but they were open for people to see, so you could actually see they were doing things like they were doing calligraphy, they were doing ikebana, which is flower arrangement, they were doing, how do you call it? I forgot the name. When you fix things with gold leaf, when you fix ceramic, what's that called? Kintsugi, I think it's called. That was all amazing, and I thought it was a great idea, and I wish there were more spots. I will probably, if they do it again next year, I'm definitely trying to do some of those because they look like fun and they look like something interesting, and whatever you did, you were able to take it back home, which was great. And in general, the stage itself was great. You could have a stage the whole day just watching the stage performances. I think everything was running on time, and there was a little gap between things, which was great because it gave you the opportunity to go and see the vendors and see the artist alley and go for food. So I think it worked really, really well. There is only one thing that I am going to criticize, and this is the date of the event. It was exactly the same date as the convention in my city. Like, there was a Comic-Con going on the same exact day as Hyper Japan, which is something silly. I don't know which event took the spot first, I have no idea, but there are not so many conventions here in the Northwest, so it felt a bit silly that two big conventions were happening just an hour away from each other, because basically you're stealing people from each other when you could just have done it a week before or after. So maybe next time see if we can just figure out those dates so it doesn't happen again. And just in general, I am actually looking forwards to next year, and I am hoping for it to be even bigger because I know the convention center and I know the convention is much bigger. There is way more space at the back that they could open. There is some extra places that they could go to. There is a massive auditorium as well that you have if you go to the other areas as well. So I am just hoping for next year to be even better and even bigger. And if you want some ideas, I would like to see more photo ops. There were a few, but they were very small and they were decent. You could take pictures there, but I would like to see like a bigger area, maybe making a giant torii gates at Japanese things. Like, it could be very cool, and you could get like queues of people taking pictures there. Cosplayers, we love it. And speaking about cosplayers, you could be, even if there was like an exhibition by cosplayer, I would like to see it bigger, and maybe just get some more mannequins and dress forms, so you could get the people to display the actual cosplays in mannequins. That would be great, and you could have like a full exhibition of cosplays there. You could actually ask photographers as well to do a cosplay exposition with cosplay photos as well. That's another really cool thing that is very easy to organize, and you can just do as well. Just need to put the things around the walls, and you could just like decorate, and people like seeing those as well. More talks, because we did have the talk with Aya Hirano, but there weren't many, at least not on Saturday. There weren't many like, not workshops, but like chats with people. You could have like how to cosplay talk. You could have a talk about kimonos. You had I think the kimono stand was by Fuji Kimono. I could be wrong here, but I have seen them doing a workshop or a talk about kimonos, how to wear a kimono. That could be a workshop. You could talk with them and just like ask them to do a little workshop, or do it on stage in which they show the different parts of a kimono, how to dress up with kimono. I would love to see that on stage, and I'm sure a lot of people would love it, and they would also love trying some of the kimonos themselves or learn how to wear it, because there's an art to wearing a kimono as well. You could do cosplay talk, you could do a Lolita talk, a Japanese fashion talk, and also you could have a video game section, because this is something that perhaps I'm very used to it. I don't usually go to the video game sections, but there are so many Japanese video games that you could be having an area. Like, there was a seating area just when you went to the Vocal Fest. You could see there was like an empty space on the side. You could have done that into a video game area in which gamers could go and have a little competition going on as well. You know, there are many ways in which you can make this even bigger, and I am actually looking forward to go next year. I really hope they do it again, because I really enjoyed it, and honestly, it is one of the best organized conventions I've been to. In particular here in England, I really enjoyed it, and I really cannot wait for the next event. That's all I have to say. And for now, I am going to go back to my cosplays, because I am working on the next one. I know I am quite late for it. I am not sure if there's going to be a video next week, because I don't know if this is going to be finished or not, but yeah, be looking forward to more cosplay videos, because I am working on new things and the year is not over yet. If you stick to the end, thank you very much for watching, and I will be seeing you in the next adventure. Bye!